HTML versus XHTML. XHTML is a stricter, more XML-based version of HTML. So what is XHTML? XHTML stands for Extensible Hypertext Markup Language. XHTML is a stricter, more XML-based version of HTML. XHTML is HTML defined as an XML application. And finally, XHTML is supported by all major browsers. So why to use the XHTML and not just HTML? XML is a markup language where all documents must be marked up correctly, be well formed. XHTML was developed to make HTML more extensible and flexible to work with other data formats such as XML. In addition, browsers ignore errors in HTML pages and try to display the website even if it has some errors in the markup. So XHTML comes with a much stricter error handling. If you want to study XML, you can check out this tutorial. The most important difference from HTML. Here we have inside of the angle brackets the exclamation mark, and the tag type is mandatory. The XML NS attribute and HTML is mandatory. HTML tag, the head tag, title tag, and the body tag are mandatory. Elements must always be properly nested. Elements must always be closed. Elements must always be in lowercase. Attribute names must always be in lowercase. Attribute values must always be quoted. And finally, attribute minimization is forbidden. So right now we're gonna see XHTML. Tag type is mandatory. An XHTML document must have an XHTML tag type declaration. The HTML head, title, and body elements must also be present, and the XMLNS attribute in HTML must specify the XML namespace for the document. So here they're giving us this example. Here is XHTML document with a minimum of required tags. So as you can see, it has the tag type, the HTML, the head, the body, and as you can see inside of the HTML tag we have the XML NS equal sign double quotes. Inside of the double quotes we're gonna have a URL, and also in the tag type element we're gonna have the HTML public, all this information. XHTML elements must properly nested, and XHTML elements must always be properly nested within each other like this. So this is the correct way to do. We have the B element, inside of that we have the I element, and then some context or some text, and then we're gonna end the I tag, and finally we're gonna end the B tag. We do it in this way. So the incorrect way to do that would be we start the B tag, then the I tag, some text, and then instead of closing first the I tag we close first the B tag. So this is wrong. XHTML elements must always be closed, and XHTML elements must always be closed like this. So here we have the paragraph. This is a paragraph, so we are starting the paragraph tag, and here we are closing the paragraph tag, and we're doing the same with the second paragraph. The incorrect way to do that, we open the paragraph tag, and then this is a paragraph, but we are not closing it. We should have here open angle brackets /p. XHTML empty elements must always be closed, and XHTML empty elements must always be closed. For example, we have the correct way, a break. You have open angle brackets, then you have the BR space / and then you close the angle brackets. A horizontal rule, you have the open angle brackets HR space / and then you close the angle brackets. An image, you have the image element, you have the source equal sign. Inside of the double quotes we're gonna have the file name, we're gonna have the alt attribute equal sign double quotes, a description, space forward slash, and then you close the angle brackets. The incorrect way to do that should be this one, without closing the element, like this. For example, you have the BR and we're not closing it, we don't have this forward slash at the end. So that is that. XHTML elements must be in lowercase, and XHTML elements must always be in lowercase. So for example, here we have the body element, inside of that we have the paragraph, and then we end the body tag. And as you can see, the body element, the paragraph are all in lowercase. The wrong way to do that would be the body element, the paragraph would be in uppercase letters, so that would be wrong. We have the XHTML attribute names must be in lowercase, and XHTML attribute names must always be in lowercase, like this. So we have the A element, we have the href, equal sign, double quotes. Inside of the double quotes we're gonna have this URL. We close the angle brackets, we're gonna have some text, and then we're gonna end the A tag, and we do that with angle brackets /A. The wrong way to do it would be the same thing, but instead of typing this href attribute in lowercase, we would do it in uppercase, so that would be wrong. XHTML attribute values must be quoted, and XHTML attribute values must always be quoted, like this. So you have the A element, you have the href attribute, equal sign, double quotes, you have a URL inside of the double quotes, close the angle brackets, you have some text, and then you end the A tag. So that is the correct way to do that. The wrong way to do that is the same. You have the A element, you have the href attribute, equal sign, but here you are omitting the double quotes, so that is wrong. You should always have your double quotes here. So this example is wrong. This is the correct way to do that. Href, equal sign, double quotes, and inside of the double quotes you type in your URL. XHTML attribute minimization is forbidden, and XHTML attribute minimization is forbidden. So here you have the correct way to do that. You have an input element, you have a type attribute, equal sign, double quotes, checkbox. You have the name attribute, equal sign, double quotes, vehicle. The value attribute, equal sign, double quotes, car. Finally you have the check attribute, equal sign, double quotes, and then check, a space, and then you have your forward slash. Here you have in the second example, you have the input, you have the type text, you have the name, last name, but then you have disable, equal, and then double quotes, disable. So this is the correct way to do that. The incorrect way to do that would be this one, the second example. Then as you can see, it is pretty much the same except for the check attribute. So here you just having the check attribute, but you don't have the equal sign, the double quotes. So this one should be check, equal sign, double quotes. Inside of the double quotes we should have this one, checked. With the second in the second line we have also the input element, we have the type attribute is equal, double quotes, text, we have the name, equal sign, double quotes, last name, and then we have the disabled. This is wrong. We should have disabled, equal sign, open, double quotes, and inside of the double quotes we should have disabled. So this is the incorrect way to do that, so this is the correct way to do it.